great win by Great Britain.
This is the chance, Ellery Harris going all the way.
The history and heritage of the game, as far as Great Britain goes, is so rich, so foundational to the sport of rugby league. Growing up, we all watched Great Britain, legendary, iconic games, Ellery Hanley, Shaun Edwards and so many more. Might in a fire, length of the field against the mighty Australians.
Now we'll see his pace. Away.
Once you turn the telly off, you go into the garden, you put a bit of tape round the head and then go bash it like your friends, and you don't give each other a name.
Punch up, and it's Peacock.
It's been 12 years since Great Britain Rugby League Lions last played, and now they're back with a tour down under. The stakes couldn't be higher.
And we're going to fucking come out the other end because we're fucking better than these. We want it more than these, all right? We're going to fucking prove it.
In the Great Britain team, you have to be prepared to die. You have to be prepared to allow your lungs to burst.
Mike Gregory has done it for Great Britain.
There's a sense that you've got a chance to actually write your name in the history books.
The only shirt I've got hung up at home is my Great Britain shirt. Great players have worn it for 100 years.
Davies' head hits the right arm of Alan Prescott and it's broken.
For rugby league to thrive on a national stage, the national team needs to be successful. The Lions need to win games on tour.
Don't anybody stop you being the fucking player you want to be today.
When you embark on a British Lions tour, you know for the rest of your life you will be judged on the result.
Yeah, if you've tuned in, welcome along 4020 Live. Thanks for getting in. We've got to talk Great Britain, haven't we? Yeah, we've got to talk Great Britain. Great Britain are back. The Great Britain Rugby League Lions.
Where has it been for the last 10, 15 years?
But it does come across as just a way of selling a different kind of shirt. Let me get the squad up. It's a very lopsided team.
First time the GB squad has been together for 12 years. Hopefully you all realise you're part of something really special. Like I said, it's 12 years since the last one, 2007.
In 2007, the Rugby Football League, the governing body, decided that from now on they were going to play only as England and tour as Great Britain, probably every 4 years. That 4 years turned into 12 years. There was a reasonable argument that with no players from Scotland, Wales and Ireland in the Great Britain team, what was the point? It was an England team, they should play as England. But nostalgia is a big thing, and bringing back the Lions now gives people a chance to re-engage and fall in love with them again.
When we were growing up in England, playing for Great Britain was the pinnacle, was the best thing you could possibly do.
So many of my heroes growing up watching the game played for the GB Lions. It's a huge honour. Been lucky enough to play for England, but this is the real pinnacle of our sport.
For me, I thought about the history of this shirt. I thought about other people who've worn the shirt before, because for me, I felt like I was only borrowing the shirt.
Jamie Peacock was just a fierce competitor who wanted to take it to especially the Aussies. He just wanted to take it to them, and he did that. Obviously, we're lucky enough for him to be our team manager and get to spend some time with him, and he played probably some of his best games in a GB shirt.
I remember that 2006 test. Willie Mason dropped Stu Fielding, and Jamie Peacock come over and started throwing bangs, and I still watch it on YouTube every now and then, and that gives me butterflies and gets me up for any game. When they beat the Aussies that game, it was pretty special.
The fight with Willie Mason, it's the one moment still everybody wants it. It's an iconic moment, I think, and it's one that people want to talk about. And I think it's the shirt that unites the country.
Runners. Oh, is it for the run seal? Yes.
Yeah. Left arm on there and just come in and just leaning on. if you're leaning like that, that'll bring you down.
That is awkward as hell.
Rugby League finds it very hard to break into the national media past football's dominance, rugby union, cricket. If this tour is a success, it could really re-establish the Lions as a major name in British sport. If it's a failure, we may never see them again.
You're looking good, mate. Still young, it's hair colour. Are you okay?
It's creeping a bit now, mate.
Do you know what freaked me out? Finding my first grey pubic hair. Do you know why? I was really enjoying the kebab at the time. That's not for this. Yeah, I'm good, mate. Bit anxious about this.
No, mate, they're good. They love
Yeah,
it.
good. First and foremost, I feel privileged to stand in front of you boys this evening. I really do. I had 11 years playing this wonderful sport, professional rugby league, with a little bit of rugby union either side of that. I was fortunate to be given the opportunity to play both sports. I loved it. And I'm very defensive of one in the other's company. But I always fought against the nepotism of rugby union, which I felt existed in those days. It was a little bit bent in terms of what school you went to. I knew how well you spoke. And I'm a pretty chippy northerner, if I'm honest. And I've been approached for a number of years to play professional rugby league and ended up succumbing. I came to rugby league and I was fit, but I had to lift it again. You know, and suddenly realised, God, these are athletes. They were far, far, far more athletic and fitter than the rugby union boys. Strictly speaking, I was playing for money. We were on £150 for a win, £30 if they lost. So the difference about winning on a Sunday afternoon means that your wife can go out and get a full trolley of shopping, or you can get a new washing machine because it's broken. That means if I break your jaw when I'm playing against you, we win the game, I'm going to break your jaw. And I quickly learned that. Great Britain, touring, people watch. People watch. I love that you lads have been given the opportunity. I really do. Because you can make this great sport great again, boys. I hope you're successful. I hope you have a great trip. Thank you.
If you're in it, it's kind of you're in it. You know what I mean? Like football's massive and rugby's like, if you're in it, you're in it. So it's only small areas really. It's not like football, but you know, I think that's the aim for the whole rugby committee. It's pretty special to be picked for GB, and we've got to make it count. Can't just bring Great Britain back and go over and end up with 4 losses to his name. When you're heading down under Saturday.
What are you doing, Jake? Are you moving there?
No, we've got a tour, haven't we?
Oh, right.
Great Britain tour. Well, I'm training just like you.
One of the things that I think people don't understand is why there are 2 forms of one game rugby. There aren't 2 forms of tennis or cricket.
Boys, it's TP to start. We'll go to first blue.
As rugby became more popular and as urban populations grew and as newspapers became more prominent, so games were covered and transport was more accessible to people as the railway network grew. Rugby in the north of England became very popular, but its origins were very much in the public schools of the home counties. I mean, it's named after Rugby Public School. And there was a big social and economic clash because the northern players were working class men who were working 6 days a week, usually in heavy industry. They needed to be compensated for the time they took off to play rugby. But the rugby union authorities didn't want them to get paid. They had this bogus idea of a pure amateur sport.
For the leaders of the Rugby Football Union, which was the governing body of the whole game at that time, they felt that being paid to play the game was not quite the done thing. So when the Northern Union broke away in 1895, they sought to keep it in its place by banning all clubs, all players, all officials that were connected, however remotely, with the new Northern Union organisation. And I think that informs the sport wherever it's played, that it's a working class, battler, rebel sport, even today.
2, 1, go!
Can't be a good look at this. I feel a bit dizzy at the moment. You know, it's been really tough. I think I've lost about 3 kilo in that session, but yeah, it's been really tough. But really looking forward to the tour. As I've been playing, there's not been a Great Britain tour, so to be a part of this is absolutely massive for me and for my family and for my local area as well. I grew up in an area in Huddersfield called Bradley. It was quite a rough area. I was up to all sorts before I started playing rugby. Dead-end jobs, on the dole for a bit, to no good on the streets with my mates. So, I honestly do not know where I'd be without rugby league.
Tightest man in rugby league, by the way.
So just because I'm smart, he gets it mistaken for tight. So instead of buying big flash cars,
you can ask anyone in Super League.
Instead of buying big flash cars,
he just pays for them in cash. He didn't buy it.
Yeah, I'll save up and buy it instead of paying monthly. I don't like stuff coming out of my bank, so I just call it smart.
So he saves
you
up
look at it two different ways.
a month's wage and then buys it.
A month's wage, or like 3 years' wage.
I've known Jermaine from he was a young lad. To watch him become a player that's formidable in the Great Britain team, right? I've watched his games, I've been to Huddersfield, watched him play. He's a rough and tough player himself as well, and he puts it in and he's a handful. I'm proud to watch him. I'm proud that I know him.
When I used to watch like Henderson Gill, who was a local player around my area, play for Great Britain and score the tries and do the boogie, I thought that was it.
When you get over that line, you can do anything you want. And I think I did a dance. Everybody just loved it. The commentators thought I'd lost the plot.
And the Union Jack flags here have gone absolutely crazy.
I remember watching the early games, people like Sir Clive Sullivan, Billy Boston, they were my idols. They were players that I wanted to become because I watched how they play, how respected they was, and I wanted that as well. What they did opened the door for players like myself, Ellery Hanley, Desi Drummond, Martin Offiah, and all those boys.
If I was honest, I'd have to say there was a fair amount of racial hostility directed towards me. I remember being spat on 2 or 3 occasions. People can either love you or hate you. When you see a guy from London, a black guy from London, come into your sport and do things that have never been done before and probably would never be done again, that's going to stick with people. I wouldn't want my sons to have to go through that, but I was probably made for that environment and I thrived in it.
What a super try!
It's wonderful to see that our game's been diverse and it's allowed and given opportunities for black and other ethnic minorities to come and play a sport like rugby league. But I'll be honest with you, I was never inspired by them because of the colour of the skin, and it's really interesting. And I don't mind saying this, there's a lot going around at the minute about race and Black Lives Matter and other movements. And I found it very difficult in my experience to reconcile this prevalent idea at the minute that we all live in an institutionally racist society, because my experience does not reflect that in one little bit. And might be a bias. It might be because I've played rugby league and, in my opinion, rugby league's not institutionally racist. Have I been called names? Yes, but have I ever been deprived of an opportunity because of the colour of my skin? I can't remember one single occasion. Can't remember one. And I think when you look at some of the international records, I think we had some of the first black English captains in any sport. So rugby league is something we should celebrate. I don't think we talk enough about it, and it might be because we don't perceive people by what colour their skin is.
Is live. Great Britain are back. The Great Britain Rugby League Lions, if you have to give them their full title, are back.
We're not talking about anything domestic.
No.
Because that's all finished.
Our first game is in Hamilton against Tonga. We'll fly into Auckland and then we'll travel down to Hamilton to play Tonga. Then we're back to Auckland, play the Kiwis there. Then we come to Christchurch, play the Kiwis again, and finally we fly out to Papua New Guinea to play Papua New Guinea there. That's the tour.
I think today we can get very blasé about what international sport means. It's never been easier in human history to travel between countries. If we go back to the earliest Lions tours from before the First World War, and then really even up until the 1950s and 1960s, it was a completely different experience. For someone who would potentially never really been outside of their pit village to get on a ship, spend 6 weeks on a ship, travel through the Suez Canal, stop at Sri Lanka. Wherever they go, they're met with massive crowds where they are treated as absolute superstars, celebrities. This must have been an absolutely incredible event in their lives that would not only stay with them forever, but would, you know, change their perception of the world and their place in it.
Morning, everyone. And as always, we like to finish with a little joke before we get to training. So, Paddy and Murphy, obviously Great Britain. We'll throw a few Irish jokes in there. Anyone gets upset, get off the buzz and fuck off. Get a plane home.
My name's Chris Barron, aka Bubble. My job officially is help with strength and conditioning. My real job is the director of Good Times.
I'm feeling them evil spirits chewing away at that her line. Everyone tell that nasty, that horrible, disgusting her line, tell it to be gone. Be gone! Be gone! Can I get it in here? Woo! Let's have a woo! Woo!
The director of Good Times, when you're away from home for a long period of time, you need someone to pull the group together, make sure they have a good time, and he's the best I've ever seen at doing that, Bubble. He's fantastic. I think he's as important as the head coach.
Do you want a new one? Or do you want to have milk in it?
Like a scaled down latte. You know, I'll just have a macchiato, please.
I'm currently working in a male prison, so for me, working in a male-dominated environment is it's more what I'm used to, really. I think I'd probably struggle more with 24 women than with 24 men based on my experience. But I was nervous not having met the 24 players and not having worked with the staff before. Is that not what you asked for?
It's hotter than the sun. Whoever's been in charge of milk.
That was Tom. I was in charge of coffee. Tom was in charge of milk.
With a lot of the players who got to a top level, they have a ritual, you know, and it gets to a point after a few years where it becomes OCD type behaviour, where if it's not done, these players feel uncomfortable. And then there's a small segment of players that turn into divas, because if they haven't got enough almond milk in the coffee, they're spraying people and blowing up. I think Jammer falls into that category a little bit. But what I will say is he backs it up with his performances. He's 50 tests, captained his country, he's done everything, so if it works for him and he plays at that elite level, then if he wants almond milk in his coffee, I'll get him almond milk.
Yes!
Graham! James Graham is just a shining example of what a modern rugby league player needs to be. Going to Australia, conquering the NRL. It is the outstanding rugby competition in the world. The money is bigger because the Australian salary cap is significantly bigger. The whole sporting landscape of Australia is different. These players become very famous.
Not that coffee, is it?
My dad got me into rugby and I'm one of 7, and obviously where we grew up there was no one else that played rugby league, so while Dad was taking me back and forth to training, you know, two days a week and then a game, Mum was at home with the rest of the kids, so the big commitment in that household growing up was me playing sport, and yeah, they all paid the price for that.
Hands on ups. Sorry? Hands on ups.
A Great Britain tour, it does change your perspective of things. It's a change of environment. You know, we're in such a fortunate position to be, you know, full-time professional athlete.
You traditionally do have a warm-up game that gets you into the swing of things. And then come along Tonga.
You know, they've got some of the best forwards in the game, and if we're going to get the win, we're going to have to be on. Yeah, they can tear any defence in the world apart. I
try not to, like, my mum will ring me on a Wednesday and she's like, oh, how are you thinking about the game on Saturday? And I could just literally brush it off because I try not to think about the game as much, because if I do, I've been prone to playing the game over me in my head and thinking too much.
Playing club rugby, you can occasionally play against a weak player. Playing test match rugby, you're not playing against anybody who's weak. Everybody's at the top of their game. Everybody's tuned in.
What do you think was what you can do for your team, mate? Okay, so here's my last question to you. Don't let anybody put your fucking handbrake on. Clear? Don't let anybody stop you being the fucking player you want to be today.
Where I grew up, we're pretty rough, and I probably wasn't the best child. I got in a bit of trouble when I was younger, and I started fighting and stuff like that in the streets and stuff like that around where I live. So my mum wanted me to get into rugby. I've got a little girl. I had my little girl when I was 16-year-old, so I don't know, pretty young to be fair. And when she was born, it made me really realise that it's not just about me, you know, it's more about her. And that probably made me get my head down a bit more and keep out the things that I was doing.
So welcome to FMG Stadium and the Waikato here in New Zealand.
This is going to be a cracker of a game.
You've got to understand, the Tonga's, it's not Tonga of old, it's Tonga ram-packed with some of the best strike weapons in the NRL.
Wrecking ball that is Taumalolo.
Some of the, if not the best strike weapons in the entire game of rugby league.
Charges straight into Hodgson.
Last couple of years, there's been a few Australians or people eligible to play for Australia who sort of put their hand up and gone and played for Tonga, such as Taumalolo, arguably one of the best, if not best forward in the world. And that's rejuvenated the spirit of some of the South Sea Islands and you know, it's brought the international game up a couple of notches.
Tonga with a bit of momentum behind them, gripping into their work at the moment, these Tonga invitational players.
Hold your line, hold your line.
And again, this is great effort, the passion coming through from Tonga.
Scoops, Hastings, great D, Harrell.
Pretty much the whole first half, we just kept banging the opposition, like just coming hunting them.
Oh, there's another one in. Onto the boot of Lolo here. Still a chance, leaving it for Coote, and Coote gets whacked. Well, they know they're in a battle here.
Oh, good man, it's like the fucking Alamo right there, wasn't it?
Intriguing battle. There's yet to be a point scored in it. It's Walmsley, the tackle is spot on as well. Now we have some hard men too coming up from Great Britain. Very hearty in the way that they play their rugby league.
You know, when it's part of your job to stop a 130-kilo man running at you.
No surprise it should be Graham who's there.
It takes a certain type of person to do that. You're probably all wired up a little bit differently.
Graham once again, head down.
Nice jammer. Good work, fellas. Fucking stay in this.
Well, he's an absolute workhorse and a never say die competitor, James Graham. All of his teammates respect him for the attitude. Both teams completing 100% right now. The Great Britain Lions have had to rack up 142 tackles.
McGilvraith's just been outstanding. His carries have just been phenomenal.
It's a war of attrition because ultimately what you're doing is waiting for the first person to make an error. And momentum can just shift like that. It might be a decision, it might be an error, it might be a big break, a big shot, a big tackle that just seems to lift the spirits.
Jennings picked up. Here's Lolo here. He's in this space. Lolo here. Picks up Asiata. It's still on for Jennings, who sails away for Tonga.
Hey, no panic here, boys. No panic.
Under the pump again. Great Britain. He's spinning. He still keeps it alive. What are you blokes up to out here?
Keep your line. Keep your line.
Holy dooly. What's going on here? Oh, look. It's Jennings. It's Jennings. It's Asiata.
It pissed me off to a fair. It's one of the tries that you were conceding, even more so just before half time.
What a first half of footy. I hope you've enjoyed the action. The Tonga Invitational team, they lead here, the Great Britain Lions.
Hey, this is the group that's going to fucking change it around, okay? Yeah. And we're going to do it together. We're going to have to do it together. Yeah. So keep fucking grinding away, and this game is going to turn. You can fucking feel it, boys. They fucking jacked a couple of fucking tries there. They fucking apprehended. They fucking jacked it. So let's keep doing what we're doing, and they will break. We don't need any fucking heroes.
I think rugby league is just about life, really. I mean, you can draw on any situation. You know, if you want to talk about the bad times, the opposition's got the ball 4 or 5 sets on the bench, and you're in the washing machine. That's a bad time. That's a bad time in life.
It's all over Gildarty.
It looks like he's struggling, mate, yeah. Yeah, he's involved in this tackle.
You get the feeling Great Britain have got something on the boil here.
But if you stay in it, and you just stay with it and stay with it, and you keep turning up for each other, eventually it's going to turn.
Bateman has been outstanding. His rush defence, he is just tirelessly working throughout this whole game.
You need somebody to step outside the comfort zone. Because in life, we tend to seek comfort zones. And occasionally we need a maverick.
I think John's desire to succeed was sort of in him long before he had a child.
He's the only one that's looking likely to score, John Bateman.
Anytime he doesn't feel like competing or the drive is going, he just takes a look at that tattoo on his arm. It says Millie, and he just goes up another gear.
A try will be a big, big one for them. I think that's through. John Bateman, can they pull this from the fire?
Nice pass, good work, mate, good work, awesome.
You already see there's some individuals that are starting to step up already, more so than Bateman, who scored that try.
Here's Bateman, he grabs across field, then links up, bit of a dummy here as well for Hastings. He's into a bit of space, Hastings has to steer it on the inside for Hall. He can see his way clear. Hall loses the ball as the skipper of Tonga tackles him from behind. What a remarkable victory here as the Tongan Invitational 13 knock over one of the world's best, the Great Britain Lions. An amazing game of rugby league.
Yeah, a bit to do, mate, a fucking bit to do.
14-6, and a huge victory for Tonga.
After the game, it's one of them things that it pisses me off quite a bit, to be fair, mate. I just hate the fact of losing, probably sometimes a bit too much, but that's me and that's how I've always been, and that's how I probably will always be. I'm not a good loser, and I just wanted to get back out there and play another game, try and win again, but obviously we've got an opportunity this week to do that, so I'm really looking forward to doing that.
Welcome on 4020 Live, thanks for getting in touch.
Western Rugby League Lions lost to the ramshackle Tonga Invitational 13. I haven't seen any of the intensity, any of the aggression. It's not been as big a success, and I think they need to win this week.
From our point of view, from a staff's point of view, the boys couldn't do anything more. It's tough, it's hard coming away. We weren't quite clinical enough, the skill wasn't quite on the money, and we just let them get away from us. So hopefully this week, we've learned from that, and when them chances come along, we'll be there to take them.
We obviously got an injury to Ollie Gildart, and it was quite obvious on the field that looked quite serious.
Dislocated my shoulder. broke something. I think broke a bone as well and tore my labrum. So yeah, trip's done for me. It's obviously gutting.
Keep involved. The hardest thing sometimes when this happens is you're not being out there with the lads and you feel kind of like you're on the side. And I think looking at the psychological impact of rugby and injuries, it's something that I'm really keen on, and it hits you from the moment it happens. They're good at dealing with pain, these players, but when they start thinking about contracts and families and livelihoods, and there's so much more behind the shoulder injury and beside any of the injuries we see on the field. Your shoulder's really important, but your head's equally important, so we need to make sure we're looking after you.
He's a Yorkshire lad, so we can look after him.
You look after your Yorkshire boys, don't you, Clover?
Don't tell anyone, will you?
Nah, mate. No.
I broke my neck back in March of last year. Felt my career come crashing down. You sort of question everything. Question your livelihood, you know. Question what kind of man you're going to be after that. Is it going to permanently affect me? The stigma what comes with that injury it's obviously mind-blowing. You know, I was speaking to a sports psychiatrist for a while, which helped, but ultimately it was just me and my demons. I think first and foremost is I wanted to be a father still. I had 2 young boys. I questioned whether I wanted to do it again. I questioned whether it was worth it, but I just felt I wasn't done. I just felt there was a part of me what's needed to get back playing and back doing what I loved, because I just knew I wasn't ready to quit.
Players can get caught up in this idea that we've got to be mentally tough and just get on with it and not talk about some of our issues. Everybody has issues, and listen, not all issues are bad.
How are you doing this morning?
For us as sportsmen and women in rugby league, there's that real unity within the game, and you know, we just want to rally around and say, listen, if you're struggling, I'm here to help you. Society in general has really taken a different attitude and approach to mental health as a whole.
Make that last 10, boys. Make that last 10. I want a large flat white, please.
Was that bigger than Crudy's face?
Give it away, Ollie.
Was that bigger than Crudy's face?
Come this far before then. So when you think about kick before though, you're like, don't miss this, I'm going to miss this, no, I'm not going to miss this, I'm going to miss this.
I used to talk to myself all the time.
Fucking rattling in my head and then I kick it like.
When did you take it?
One of the things I like most about Zach is his honesty. It's well documented and he'll tell you himself, you know, some of the journey that he's been on's not always been the best, and he's made decisions that I'm sure if he had opportunity again, he'd make some different ones.
Talk about second chances. I think I'm on my 9th. I think my cat lives have run out. Probably every year I got in trouble, whether that was for drinking or fighting. There was always something. Couldn't quite put my finger on it at the time, and I got done for taking cocaine as well. You know, me and Mrs had a miscarriage, and I just didn't deal with it very well. Got banned for 14 months, so a year out of the game.
When you play a game like rugby league, giving the commitment to being the best version of yourself, you're walking a very fine line between genius and insanity, and sometimes people just fall off that line.
I went to rehab just before Christmas, learnt a lot of home truths about myself and about where I've been going wrong, and that's when I got diagnosed with ADHD. All these things that I've been feeling, it answered quite a lot. So I obviously read up about that and got a lot of information, started some medication on that, and you know, that really did help me. Rugby's it's a really weird sport because we're not footballers, we don't get paid that much money where we can get excluded from society. We're right in the mix with the joiner who lives next door, or you go to the same supermarket as your childhood mates. You're really amongst it, and sometimes you can get caught up in whatever they do, or you can forget what your purpose is or what your job is, and I've done that numerous occasions.
We need a win now.
Yeah. You know, if my story can help anyone out, I'm really fortunate to do that. So, yeah, hopefully I've got another 7 or 8 years, but hopefully no more bumps in the road. So I'm looking forward to the next few years.
So just before we practice this song again, remember we're singing it for a king. No pressure.
I'm gonna take you on a trip so far from here.
How long you waiting?
Waited so long.
How long you waiting, Otto?
Waited so long.
we organised the visit to go see the Maori King. When you're touring, it's important not to just focus on the rugby and understand there's a wider context to what you're doing as a sports person. And I think the lads can understand a bit of what's going on in and around them and a bit of history of the country.
I've got 2 tickets to paradise.
We were told we needed to sing a song back to them. That's the tradition. You know, everyone's thinking, oh, should we sing God Save the Queen, sing the national anthem? But as it was an open invitation, we decided to go with 2 tickets to paradise.
2 tickets to paradise.
The lyrics were pretty good actually when it was just a cappella. We want to go to paradise, I suppose, in a way. That paradise is when you win. That's where we want to be.
Do you have a song to conclude for your captain to support him?
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
Can someone hold my phone, because I just don't want it to go off? I think as we entered the building, we thought this is not the right place to do this. I think we sort of probably, it hit us then that I don't know if it was appropriate or not. But again, it was any song to be sung, so we had to back ourselves.
Still doing it. Still doing it.
3,
2, 1.
Especially for you. Waited so long. Waited so long. I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Won't you pack your bags and leave tonight? I've got 2 tickets to paradise. I've got 2 tickets to paradise.
Despite the giggles and the shakes, I thought we did okay.
We're passionate rugby league. Over where you guys play professionally, we don't play for money, we play for mana. Money's never been a part of our, well, we got no money, that's the reason why.
Oh, Phil, I am dripping. Yeah, I can't believe we actually did it.
Both sides lost innocent people, the British Crown or the British soldiers, as well as Māori. And that when you take that mana with you to the field, that you're able to demonstrate that. And the harder you are, the more respect you win.
I just love the passion and the way that they talk about the manu. You've got to show your manu, and that's being a man. And that's what they try to show when they play. So you always know when you play the Kiwis, you know, they're going to run hard, they're going to tackle hard, and they're not going to take a backward step, and that's what you want.
Lovely day. Thought we held it together with a great rendition of the song. There were a few amateur performances, and I thought on the whole we did the crowd justice.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for getting up early for this press conference, which is going to be a pretty special triple header. It's like a mini World Cup tomorrow, and we're all very excited about it. That we're going to have such strong international rugby league in one place, one time, back to back to back. It'll start with Samoa, Fiji, then it'll be New Zealand versus the Great Britain Lions, then it'll be the Kangaroos against the Tonga.
A couple of guys just looking at each other again, James, and looking at each other, Benji. Guys, looking at each other.
We're not going to do that.
You know, right.
Guys, can we get a Titanic pose, please?
Everything you do is got fucking repetition. You do it right or you do it wrong. Keep doing it wrong, that's what you'll do in the game.
Off the back of what's happened against the Tongan 30, there's going to be people questioning themselves.
Don't kick the ball, Josh. Just don't fucking do it, mate. Yeah, mate. You know, I've got 2 good kickers there. I want them to kick the fucking ball.
It creates negative vibes, and 12,000 miles away from home, it's pretty tough. That's the one thing about being northern as well. A lot of lads are pretty homely, so a lot of homesickness might start creeping in.
Good morning. So, Matt,
Oh, no, I just feel fucking drained.
Drained? Come on, you fucking kids. Oh, yeah. You're back within 5 minutes of being home, you wish you were away again. How many kids you got, Jerry?
3 boys.
Have you? Fucking hell, outstanding.
Especially after a defeat, you want to make things right. So really looking forward to playing the Kiwis.
I love playing against New Zealand. They're a physical team. They get into you, they test you.
Obviously, having not beaten them on away soil for 27 years, it's I think it adds that pressure to it, and hopefully we can get that done.
You've got to take it personal. You've got to make it personal as well. People say, feel good, play good, but sometimes you've got to feel rubbish, but still get yourself up for the game.
Hey, boys in the middle there, and then we know what we fucking need to do today, yeah?
Yeah.
The fucking effort areas are exactly the same. Okay, we don't fucking let up on that. Yeah, play a bit smart, okay? We all fucking have a responsibility today. Bench, you boys should be fucking rolling this.
Hey, fucking ball security, just hold the fucking ball, kick up on. Let's go, boys.
Any spray? Any spray, please?
Fucking Lions here.
Let's go, boys, we're a minute over. Let's go. Let's go, boys, on the kick off.
There's an enormous amount of self-doubt. Am I good enough to compete at this level? Am I good enough to play on the international stage? There's a fear of failure. That sort of thing can be part of the fire to sort of want to keep proving yourself.
I think what makes these games as important as they are is the history behind them, and it goes beyond sport. They're looking at us as a nation who colonised New Zealand. There's that vengeance there, probably passed down from generation to generation.
Gaz, Foran's gone here, mate. Foran's gone. If you get a chance, he's fucked. Get at that cunt if he's fucked. If he stays on, get at the cunt. Everyone move! Everyone move! Move!
Good clocks there, Mallow. McGilvray's done brilliantly. Not the tallest winger you'll see, Jermaine McGilvray, but he got it. League Lions so far have been error-free in this game. Walmsley smashed by Waerea-Hargreaves.
Yeah, you got this, mate. Get through this. You fucking push through, mate.
Whipped.
Oh, God.
Lomax lovely has McGilvray.
Oh, all right, Neil. Nice.
Well, here it is, half-time. An exciting end of the first half, but it's ended a stalemate. It's 2-2.
We've all just got to dig in there. You know, I know it's hard at times. I fucking know it's hard when middles are getting back. I know it's fucking hard, but if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's why we're boys. Hey, get in a sec. Get in a sec. It's fucking 2-2. Half time, we know the fucking situation. We know how hard it's going to be. But fucking enjoy this work now. And we're going to fucking come out the other end because we're fucking better than these. We want it more than these, all right? We've got to fucking prove it now. We've got to fucking prove it, okay?
Vasashek up. Here he goes, Roger. One to beat. Oh, the offload was absolutely brilliant. Jermaine Suckle with the try.
Just put the fucking hands up, GB, if it's on.
James Graham in there. Competitor, isn't he? Here comes Marshall. Nice line run by Harawira. Did he get it down? I think he could have got that down.
Fucking hell.
Now that lead is looking very good for the home team, and it's 12 points to 2. Now, someone needs to spark something here for this British team, Daryl. Lit the fuse in this second half.
Hey, need to be fucking better, no doubt about it. Need to be better.
Great Britain have got to score in this set, really, to have any chance in this game.
Come, go! Hilly! Hilly!
They're trying to barge their way over. It's Walmsley getting very close. He's lost it. Play on is the call. There's a try. Yes! This is game on now, Richie Barnett. Important kick this. He's buried it. That's lovely. It's 12 to 8. Britain got to spread it here.
Finish in the corner, finish in the corner.
Hastings with a beautiful pass. Can finish off.
Minnie was at a funny angle and with quite a lot of weight on my back.
Ollie's just come off the field here. His kneecap's absolutely gone.
I felt it straight away, and I knew a million things goes through your head, irrational thoughts and all sorts. And you know, what does this mean for long run? And what does it mean for future? Because if I can't If I can't do that, what's the point of me being a professional, rugby player? I need to be able to do that.
Come on, 10 minutes to go. You got this. They'll fucking crack here.
This adversity, sometimes in sport, when the chips are down, it brings out the best in people.
Jackson Hastings is through. The chase is critical.
We've got to grind the other team down. And we knew we'd get chances, and that's all you're waiting for in them big games, is just one chance.
Great Britain looking for more opportunities in these last 3 or 4 minutes. There's Lomax. There's a pass to McGilvray. Tuivasa-Sheck with a try-saving tackle.
You only need one opportunity, mate. You'll get it. You'll get one. You'll get fucking one to take it when you get it.
They sure do. Clark. Good energy from this Great Britain team all of a sudden. Winnett to John Bateman. Winnett again. Here comes the try. McGilvray.
Just check he doesn't ground the ball, please.
Chance he might have dropped this.
Oh, Jez. Oh, Jez.
That's game, set and match, folks.
We lost by 4 points. That devastated me, that I let my whole team down in that one moment. Just that one moment will define me. I'm the worst player in the world because of that. When I used to work on my job, working nights at BQ for like a 17, 18-year-old, if I messed up an order or messed up at work, I didn't go home, start dwelling on it, start talking to my parents about it or anything like that. It was done until the next time I come to work. We don't go out there to make mistakes. It just happened if I scored that, how good is he, and all the stuff. But yeah, good job I've got thick skin, and I try not to listen to that, but I do see it. Fucking camera off. But you do have to have a mental rest from it, because we're all human at the end of the day.
Once again, 40-20 is live.
I think the other thing about international rugby league is you don't get many chances. Part of the problem is that we have an identity crisis. We do.
But do results determine whether the return of Great Britain has been a success or not, or is it other factors that determine?
Oh, the factors, mate. We're building here. We've got a great squad, and of course we want to win every single game. That goes without being said, but we're building for the future. And
I think we've been really, really close in the last 2 games. At this level, the margin between winning and losing is just so small and so fine, and we could quite easily be sat here on 2 wins. But we're not. We're on 2 losses at the moment. But sport's about winning for me, and I think the team want to win.
Those are the type of games that really do hurt when you're within a score and you feel like you had the opportunity to win the game. It deflates you, and it takes a couple of days to get up from that. Yeah, that's where we're at the minute. But in terms of mood in the camp, I don't think it could be better, to be honest with you. It could be better if we'd have won, obviously. But the mood is very good. Everyone's getting along. We're obviously losing Ryan and Oliver to injury, and they've obviously headed home, but that's disappointing. But the group soldiers on.
Wigan's actually awful though. Pisses me off. Bus. Yeah, bus. Bus. What? Bus? Yes, Oldham do that.
When the Great Britain and Ireland side is selected, it's how many are picked from St Helens, how many representatives from Wigan, Hull had how many in the side, and there was, 4 from Warrington. Well, that's probably evidence of how badly wrong we've got the international game, because it should be How many can pick from England? How many are from Scotland? How many from Wales and how many are from Ireland? That would be my understanding of a Great Britain and Ireland side. We're still at club level. If you want International Rugby League to succeed, you want Ireland to be competitive and capable of beating England. Might disappoint you if you're an England fan, or if the Welsh get one over you, or if the Scots beat you. But it's great for the game.
They're scones, not scones, you crank.
What would you call them? Who says that? Scone.
Yeah, scones.
Just when he gets his bell, goes,
Yes.
Butler,
Scones,
go scourge, ready?
Get it from the east wing, please.
In most of the communities where rugby league grew up, the game was kind of part of a trinity between the community, local industry, and leisure or recreation, which the rugby league club represented. As towns grew up in the industrial areas of the north of England from the middle of the 19th century, they acquired both a very strong sense of civic identity and civic pride. So there'd be immense local rivalry between Dewsbury and Batley, St Helens and Wigan, and also within towns.
Rugby league has historically had some fantastic derbies and rivalries, and I think if you ever play a club that is not too far away from you, then it's going to be intense. Yeah, you noticed a lot more energy in the grounds when you played those games.
Wigan Widnes, Wigan St Helens is like Man U, Man City, right? And it's just like Arsenal with Tottenham Hotspur. That's the comparison.
There was no game for me more credible than the Leeds Bradford local derby. You go to the shop and everyone was talking about it. It was relentless. You couldn't escape it. It just brings the best out of the players. Those are the games that just keep you in this country.
In the rugby union Lions squad, the rivalries are all about which country you play for. In the rugby league Lions, it's about which club in Lancashire or Yorkshire you play for.
That Cardiff is shut it up for him. What's the rules on him?
Oh, no, he won't play tomorrow.
I'm from a town called Pontefract, which is right next to Castleford. My uncle worked in the Prince of Wales pit in Pontefract. They've built houses on that pit now, so it's quite a sad thing to see every time you drive past Pontefract Racecourse. The way he talks about it is a bit similar to sport. You know, it's a tough job, risking your life with your mates that you go down there every day. He told me some mad stories about what the guys used to do to each other and the fun that they had, but then obviously they worked the balls off as well, and that just sounds a lot like rugby league.
The mines have disappeared from the north of England. There are hardly any dockers anymore. The textile factories that provided the backbone of the game in East Lancashire and parts of West Yorkshire, they no longer exist. The population of many towns in the north of England has declined very rapidly. That presents a major problem for the sport.
In terms of our socialist status and the government and spending money and where we are in terms of a recession, certainly your working class suffer, and a lot of the working class are up north as such. So with that, I think rugby suffers as well.
Fucking be good here, boys. I think people were very proud of the industries they worked in and the jobs that they did. And when you've lost what might be the central being in terms of things like coal mining or steel or whatever it is, then things like perhaps your rugby league club become even more important as part of your identity.
So here we go, second test between the Great Britain Lions and the New Zealand Kiwis here in Christchurch. Glorious night for rugby league, Richie. Carries us some solid connection, and that's Austin under this one. Oh dear.
You're all right here, bud. Just stick to the process.
When times got tough, especially around the little towns from where I'm from, rugby league's been a common ground where no matter how hard your struggles are going off, away from it, you can have 80 minutes on a pitch and totally forget of what's happened, and that sometimes I've used that as an escape.
Go, 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 go. Have a look, have a look, have a look. Have a look. Fucking hell!
To Graham. Great Britain start to make big meters.
Nice, Jammer. Good meters, good meters. Get to the kick.
So the Kiwis have conceded 3 penalties in the last 2 minutes, and now that's a clean drop.
Fuck's sake!
Oh, he wanted that. He saw the ribs of Hargrave.
Go up for fucking gear, they'll fucking break these cunts.
The north of England's produced the best in industry, the best in games, the best in the values of the people. Yet look where we are.
Johnson runs, and Johnson will score. That was a gem. And the Kiwis out to an 8-point lead.
Jammer, you've got this, mate. You've got the endurance. Go through it, mate.
Rugby league has become a metaphor for the state of the north of England.
Clock's down. 3 tries to none. Kiwis in control.
One or two ways. We've all been in these situations before. You can see your arse and we'll be handy a fucking lot more than what we want. Or we can have a dig, fucking plenty of time to put some points on the board.
Yeah, they're digging deep. Richie, they are digging deep. Hastings, there's the kick. And Austin.
He's finished that.
It's Hastings to Lomax. Good defence again from the Kiwis. And it is the Kiwis. They win it by 23 points to 8. Great Britain League Lions, Darryl, have one more game, and that's in Papua New Guinea next week.
People from PNG, they just love their rugby league. You hear stories of people walking 3 to 5 days through the jungle to come and watch you play the game. So I think it's hugely important for a country like that, whose #1 sport is rugby league, that you bring teams like the Great Britain Lions. Like, I think it's just absolutely huge.
I got a text off my mum. She went, "Be careful, they kill people and they will lock you up straight away." I read the message and I laughed because we'd just been on the bus and kids and grown men and women are running out of trees and bushes and they're trying to touch the van and, you know, they're all waving. We've been at school today, got absolutely mobbed, got cheered every time we said his name, and every time we stood up.
And we have Zach Hadaka.
It's really important to be at school, to respect your teachers, to listen to what they do. Obviously, they're a lot older than yourself, so they know what's right and wrong. If you want to be a rugby player, you might be a rugby player. You know, if you want to be a netball player, you can be a netball player. The sky's the limit, guys. So keep working hard, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Okay, thank you.
It's really humbling to be here. It's nothing like guys back home perceive it to be.
People come up to me saying, "Oh, you played well in the World Cup and you did that." I'm like thinking, this is crazy. Like, I could walk through my local town and no one know who I am, but you can come halfway across the world and people know who you are and they've seen you, you know, and they want photos and stuff with you. it's crazy, but you know, it's good for rugby league, but it's good for this country, because as rugby league grows and grows and grows, it hopefully help the economy and help everyone around, and you know, the young kids that are growing up as well have that dream to play for PNG and stuff like that and travel the world themselves, and you know, they could give back to the community and help the community, which I know a lot of the PNG players do.
Rugby league began in Papua New Guinea in the 1940s when Australian mining engineers moved to Papua New Guinea to help develop its industries. The game very rapidly became the national game of Papua New Guinea. Native Papua New Guineans understood almost instinctively what the game meant, and this was a way in which they could express their local identity, their tribal identity.
There's 800 languages in Papua New Guinea. So their equivalent of buddy or mate is one talk. It means you speak the same as me, and everyone who plays rugby league is a one talk.
For the Great Britain Lions to stop over in Papua New Guinea and play a test with us, it's a very big thing for Papua New Guineans to say that all that we've been doing in Papua New Guinea is suddenly getting international attention.
This is a chance for Papua New Guinea to demonstrate just how much it should be taken seriously by every other country in the world.
If we did lose this tour, we'll go down as the worst tour probably ever.
Obviously, at the end of a 4.5-week tour, there could be some complacency and a few minds on getting home and things like that. But the thing about the Kumuls is I haven't played them before, but from all reports, they're going to be brutal, which means that you can't be out there to just get through the match. When you're playing a team that wants to hurt you in every opportunity, you've got to be there and invested 100%.
We wear that jersey and it's like you're bulletproof, I guess. And yeah, we just put our body on the line. A lot of the boys, they'll try and kill people. It's the way they prep themselves for the game. They're ready to go and hurt. It just shows how much passion they have for the game.
DVDs are ready on the sideline. Here we go. Test match underway. Playback now to Paris, the right bubble. Here's in hand. James Graham. And the first contact. This is it. Possible HIA here. James Graham.
Obviously concerned there for James Graham.
Well, captain for the Great Britain Lions, one of the toughest men in rugby league. The trainer and the medical staff out there.
There's probably some health implications, that we risk. What's the worst that can happen? And I've thought about what the worst that could happen, and I accept that.
Scotty, just a quick one from the doc. Jammer's done for the game, mate. Jammer's done.
Concussion's the one place where I have to look at the player during my head injury assessment. I have to look at the player in the eyes at 80 minutes. But there's a good chance that, in 5-10 years' time, I'll meet that player again in the future, and I want to make sure that all the decisions I made for them was in their best interests, and one game is a small part of their life.
Let's go, mate. We've got this. Don't fucking crack this. We'll crack this, boys. Come on.
Out the back to Connor. They've got some numbers here. Blake Austin. And Great Britain are in. Open the account this afternoon.
Nice. Needed that, right?
The Great Britain Rugby League lads are probably saying, well, justice. Down Hodgson. Goes one way, goes back to his right. He'll go top. The Great Britain Rugby League Lions hit the front further. 8 points to 0.
Great Britain Lions putting on the pressure.
And they almost really need to get in this dogfight.
Heavy tackle there.
There's seconds remaining.
Yeah, this will be the last play.
This will be the last play. Ipape, short side, goes straight up the middle.
Cheers.
6. Great Britain Lions still in front. They would have preferred 10-0.
It was a really, really hot day, and we knew if we just completed that they weren't going to last with us, because we trained in that heat, we got prepared in that. If we just put the pressure on them, that they wouldn't be able to hang in.
Well, the Footballs, they've definitely got the wind in their sail.
Now McGilvery. Cornwalls are up in numbers. What's happening? It's on the rack. He fends off the left. He puts the grabber kick through. Watson was. He's already got it. And Watson was from the left. This is the rest of the ball. The Cornwalls are in front. 12 points to 10. Leibbart looking to grabber. Comes off.
The fans in Port Moresby, they grew with every minute. It was clicking, and with it, they took the players, they pick you up, they put you on your shoulders, and you go beyond what you've ever asked of yourself.
The Great Britain last had to stand up.
The last time they upset the Lions was back in 1990.
Have put on a show.
It has been a history-making day for PNG Rugby League.
Yes. There it is, Papua New Guinea. The PNG LNG Cornwalls have proven victors over the Great Britain Rugby League Lions. 28 points to 10 here at the home of Rugby League in Port Moresby.
We saw history being created.
They will remember this date in the years to come. 16th of November 2019.
It was a privilege when I look back being part of that emotion and that happiness that the people of Papua New Guinea felt in that game, because, you know, being there and seeing how they live and how they have to live their lives and how far they walk for a game of rugby league and all that, I'd lose that game 100 more times just so that they could have that feeling. It's a documentary they're doing on me before I get sent down. About how I've been stealing a living, telling everybody I've been conditioner for 15 years. Finally caught up with me.
When I was 7 years old, watching the 1970 Ashes series against Australia, there are only two other countries that played the game, France and New Zealand. The idea that a team from Tonga or Papua New Guinea could play against Great Britain, let alone defeat them, would have been in the realms of fantasy. And that's the way you've got to look at the Lions series. From a non-British perspective, it was actually a success.
I think the tour was a disaster. I just think it was ill-conceived. And the Great Britain brand in rugby league could be remembered as the team that lost to Papua New Guinea in Port Moresby.
I do worry that that might be the last we see of the Lions, absolutely. That's where we really struggle, suffer behind the likes of rugby union. The international game's immense. And I think if we can get a strong Welsh, Scottish team, then we have some rivalry within our own nations, and then hopefully we can pick a Great Britain squad that has Scottish men in there, Irish, Welsh, and it becomes a real proper Great Britain.
Who's your favourite shirt in here, Joe? Yeah,
well, that one here, they reckon this one.
Oh, Joe Montana.
They reckon that's worth a hell of a lot of money.
It was a losing tour, so, you know, your first reaction is to be really negative. You know, you learn some of your greatest lessons from losing. It's about character and getting up when you've lost and going again. The Rugby League World Cup is in England. All those players that are involved, the Great Britain squad will be available for selection. And when you've tasted defeat like that, the hunger burns, and I think you'll see a different response from those players. If England are successful, the sport will go to another level. It'll open people's eyes to what rugby league is and the beauty of the game and what the people are like that play it. We've had our ups and downs as a team, but so's the sport. We've been knocked back through the ages, but rugby league's been around for 125 years. I'm sure it'll be around for 125 more.